Imagine a room, lit only by flickering torches. Stone walls stand silent, witnesses to centuries of secrets. The air is thick with anticipation and the scent of old wood and incense. This is where a man's life changes forever. He enters as an individual, a mere mortal seeking purpose. He hopes to leave as something more. He wishes to become a Knight Templar, one of God's own holy warriors. The initiation ceremony of the poor fellow soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon was the most guarded secret of the medieval world. It was the moment a man shed his old identity and was reborn into a brotherhood, bound by God, bound by steel, bound by a sacred, unyielding oath. No outsiders were ever permitted to watch. What happened behind those closed doors was a mystery. It fueled speculation, it fueled fear, and eventually the accusations that would bring the order to its knees. The secrecy was not for show. The Templar initiation did not spring from nothing. It was a tapestry woven from threads of older traditions. Its origins are shrouded, just like the ceremony itself. We can see the clear influence of monastic rites, particularly those of the Cistercians. Saint Bernard of Clairvaux, the Cistercian abbot and the order's greatest champion, helped shape its original rule. The Templar ceremony borrowed the solemnity and structure of a monk's profession. It involved vows of poverty, chastity, obedience. This was a radical concept. It blended the pious life of a monk with the violent life of a knight. The Templar was to be a monk on horseback. The ceremony was the moment this fusion became real. We know some details from surviving documents. The most important is the Latin rule. The heart of the ceremony was the affirmation of goals and the taking of vows. After being warned of the harsh life ahead, the postulant was asked a simple question. Did he still wish to join? If he said yes, the true ritual began. He would kneel before the presiding officer, often the Grand Master himself if he was present. Placing his hands on the Bible or a missal, the recruit would swear his life to the order. He vowed perpetual chastity, renouncing the company of women. He vowed personal poverty, signing over all his current and future possessions. Most importantly, he swore absolute obedience to the master and the commands of the order. His will was no longer his own. The role of the Grand Master was central. He was not just an officer, he was the physical embodiment of the order's authority. He was the link in a chain of command that stretched from the newest recruit to the Pope in Rome. When he spoke, it was with the full weight of the brotherhood behind him. He would then bestow the symbols of his new life, the white mantle with the red cross. Another key element was the giving of a ring. The Templar order existed for nearly 200 years. It spanned a vast territory. Map of Europe and the Middle East showing major Templar preceptories, castles of the Holy Land, preceptories of England, preceptories of France, preceptories of Spain. It's a mistake to think the initiation was unchanging. The core elements included the vows, the warnings, the bestowal of the mantle. But the specifics likely varied. A ceremony in a dusty outpost near Acre would have felt very different from one conducted in the Grand Paris Temple in the 14th century. Local customs, the specific circumstances of the frontier, the personality of the presiding commander. The fundamental spirit remained, the flesh adapted. It took an ordinary man and convinced him he was part of an extraordinary mission. It stripped him of his past and gave him a new, sacred identity. This was the true, enduring secret of the Templar initiation.